Switzerland is one of the most beautiful countries in all of Europe. Despite its small size, the country offers some of the most breathtaking scenery. From the snow-capped peaks of the Alps and the glittering blue lakes to spectacular glaciers and scenic railways, Switzerland is filled with natural wonders. With its picturesque alpine villages, world-class ski slopes, and medieval castles, Switzerland has something to offer to every traveler. With so many attractions packed into the country's borders, we've created a list with some of the best places to visit in this beautiful country. Number 10. Oeschinen Lake. Lake Oeschinen is considered one of the most stunning lakes in all of Switzerland. Framed by snow-capped mountain peaks, Lake Oeschinen is filled with exceptionally clear turquoise water and has been recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2007. The glacial lake draws its water from underground and sinks to a depth of 56 meters. Located about a 40-minute car ride from Interlaken, visitors can reach the high alpine lake by riding a cable car up the mountain and then following the pebbled road to the lake's shore. Once at the lake, visitors can hike along the lakeside on the so-called Oeschinen Panorama Hike, passing by some of the scenic waterfalls or simply enjoying the view from one of the many restaurants. During the summer months, visitors can take a plunge in the cold, translucent waters or rent one of the traditional rowing boats. Number 9. Lauterbrunnen. The fairy tale-like village of Lauterbrunnen sits in one of the most picturesque valleys of the Swiss Alps. Nestled between two steep cliffs, the valley fascinates its visitors with lush green meadows, an astonishing 72 waterfalls, and the towering Swiss Alps up above. One of the best things to do in Lauterbrunnen is to wander the streets of the old town and get absorbed in the charm of the wooden, chalet-style houses and souvenir shops. From nearly anywhere on the main street, you'll be sure to have stunning views of the dramatic rock faces and mountain peaks surrounding the small town. One of the most popular activities is to walk to the base of the famous Stobach waterfall. The water falls from a height of more than 300 meters and falls into a misty cloud as it descends, making it one of the highest waterfalls in all of Europe. As one of the largest conservation areas in Switzerland, there is a large network of hiking trails set up. One of the most scenic hikes is the 45-minute trail from Mürren to Grimmenwald, offering stunning views of the idyllic landscape and snow-capped mountains in the distance. Number 8. Furka Pass. The Furka Pass is a legendary Swiss mountain road that gained its fame after it was featured in the James Bond movie Goldfinger. The mountain pass lies about 2,400 meters above sea level, making it one of the highest paved mountain roads in all of Europe. The Furka Pass provides a truly scenic ride. Behind every corner awaits another spectacular view, and motorists have long considered the Furka Pass the most beautiful of all of Switzerland's passes. But it's not just the panoramic curves and twists that attract visitors. The Furka Pass is also the starting point for a beautiful walk to the nearby Rhine Glacier. Since the opening of the pass 150 years ago, thousands of tourists have come to see the impressive natural wonder. Every year, a 100-meter-long ice tunnel is re-drilled into the glacier. In the walkable tunnel and ice chamber, visitors can see fine shades of blue appearing in magical glows. It's best to visit the tunnel in the early summer months, as the melting of the ice reduces the tunnel's size significantly by the end of the season. Number 7. Jungfraujoch. The Jungfraujoch is arguably one of the most iconic and beautiful attractions in the Swiss Alps. At an altitude of 3,454 meters, the Jungfraujoch is known as the top of Europe, as it is the highest railroad station in the continent. Starting in 1896, the railway took almost 16 years to complete, and still today, it's one of Switzerland's most popular mountain railways. The only way to get to Jungfraujoch is by train. The so-called Jungfraubahn carries passengers to the top of the mountain with a comfortable 1.5 hours train ride. Once at the top, visitors can find several restaurants, a hotel, glacier-themed attractions, and an underground passage that leads to an ice palace carved into the glacier below. For the best panoramic views, visitors can take an elevator up to the viewing platform of the infamous Sphinx Observatory. The International Research Station is one of the highest observatories in the world, containing 2 modern laboratories, a weather station, and a large telescope. Number 6. Albula Railway Line. The Albula Railway Line is one of the world's most spectacular train rides. The route covers a distance of more than 120 kilometers, passing 196 bridges, 55 tunnels, and 20 towns along its way. Established in 1888, the railway line is a marvel of engineering and snakes its way through the Swiss mountains thanks to man-made structures, viaducts, and helical tunnels before crossing the border to the Italian station Tirano. The most iconic bridge on the railway line is the 6-arched Landwasser Viaduct. With a length of 136 meters and 5 stone pillars, the construction of the bridge was an architectural masterpiece at the time. What makes the landmark so famous is perhaps the fact that it leads straight towards the middle of a rock face. The Rhine Railway provides a breathtaking journey through the environments found along its route. From the lush alpine forests of Switzerland to the palm trees of Italy, the scenic train ride should be on every traveler's list when visiting the country. Number 5. Lake Geneva. Lake Geneva is Switzerland's largest lake, sharing its waters with neighboring France. Surrounded by the snowy peaks of the Alps, the lake is a year-round hotspot for outdoor activities. On the northern shore of the lake, visitors will find one of the most picturesque sights, the vineyards of Lavaux. Overlooking Lake Geneva, the steep slopes are dotted with century-old stone farmhouses, terraced vineyards, and medieval castles. Stretching about 30 kilometers along the lake's shores, Lavaux is the largest contiguous wine region in Switzerland, and its terraces have been protected by UNESCO since 2007. The product of these vineyards is equally protected, so much so that the white wines can't be bought anywhere outside of the region. Lake Geneva is also home to the famous Château de Chillon, a 13th century medieval castle built right onto the lake's shores. Travelers come here for its well-preserved architecture and fascinating history. Over the centuries, the castle has been used as a defensive outpost, a summer home for the dukes, as well as a state-run prison. Number 4. Aletsch Glacier. The Aletsch Glacier is considered the most spectacular glacier in all of the Swiss Alps. With a length of 20 kilometers and a surface area of 79 square kilometers, it's the longest ice stream and largest glacier in the European Alps. At its thickest, the ice is 800 meters deep and makes up over a fifth of the total ice mass in the Swiss Alps. One of the best ways to explore the glacier is via the region's extensive network of hiking trails. A great starting point is the village of Riederalp at the bottom of the valley, leading along scenic glacial rivers and wooden hanging bridges. At the top, there are 4 viewpoints strung along the glacier, offering visitors a breathtaking view of the immense natural wonder and the nearby 4,000-meter-high mountain peaks. Experienced mountaineers can book a guided tour and trek right over the top of the deeply crevased ice. Due to global warming, the glacier's tongue has receded by more than 1 kilometer since the year 2000. By the end of the century, the glacier is expected to retreat by a further 12 kilometers. Number 3. Matterhorn. With its iconic pyramid shape, the Matterhorn is one of the most recognizable mountain peaks in the world. At 4,478 meters tall, it's the 12th highest mountain in the Alps, and one of about 80 that are taller than 4,000 meters. The pointy mountain has 4 distinct sides, which make it clearly stand out from other neighboring peaks. Although the Matterhorn is most closely associated with Switzerland, the mountain straddles the border and is shared by both Switzerland and Italy. Zermatt, in the Swiss canton of Wallis, is the closest town to the Matterhorn and is widely considered the stepping-off point for exploring the mountain and surrounding area. Here, a system of incline railways, cable cars, and ski gondolas take visitors to high-elevation viewing platforms. There are also countless hiking trails set up in the area. The 5 Lakes Walk is a comfortable hike that can be completed in a day and, as the name suggests, takes visitors past 5 scenic alpine lakes, each with its own unique shape and history. Number 2. Rhine Falls. The Swiss Rhine Falls are some of the most powerful falls in all of Europe. With a height of 23 meters and a width of 150 meters, the blue roaring waters cascade down and create one of the most impressive sights in the region. Visitors are fascinated by the sheer power of the falls, particularly during the summer months, when the water flow doubles and rushes down at an impressive rate of 600,000 liters per second. A great way to experience the falls up close is to go on one of the boat cruises. On this 30-minute boat ride, visitors can climb onto the viewing platforms for the best panoramic views. There are also viewing platforms set up on both sides of the falls that allow visitors to experience the spectacle. The well-preserved Castle of Staufen overlooks the thundering Rhine waters and dates back to the year 858. The castle's panoramic glass elevator offers close-up views of the imposing site, while it takes its guests down closer to the Rhine Falls. Number 1. Appenzell. With just 1% of Switzerland's size, the little canton of Appenzell is rich in its traditions. The region is famous for its cattle farming, cheesemaking, and colorful costumes connected to century-old traditions that are carried out by the locals to this very day. Appenzell fascinates its visitors with its idyllic landscape of rolling hills covered with green meadows, wooden chalets, and horned cows, watched over by the 8,200-foot peak of Mount Santis. During the summer months, the Appenzell Alps provide the perfect setting for hikes. One of the most scenic trails leads to the Alpsee, a beautiful alpine lake surrounded by jagged mountain peaks. Here, 2 restaurants cater to visitors and rent out rowing boats for a gentle cruise on the pristine lake. From here, visitors can hike up the steep 1-hour trail to the famous guest house Asher, a century-old guest house that is built right into the side of a cliff. The restaurant offers traditional Swiss dishes and breathtaking views over the valley below.